pull the game out. And then, I mean, you did drive it down, but then tell us about that last play a little bit.
Yeah, I thought our kids fought all the way to the end. You know, we had a little lull there in the third quarter where they jumped on us a little bit. We fought back and fought back. Defense came up with a big stop. After we had turned it over on a 4th down play, we went down the field. We were in position. We had, I thought, a good play called. 4th down, the kid made a good play, stepped in front of it. We got to try to pick him up when there was a little trick play. I thought it was wide open. We had a chance to win the game. So I told our guys I was proud of them the way, you know, we're going to have to learn from this. It was a tough football game. It was like a playoff type atmosphere football game, and we got to be able to learn from it.
So it was intended to go back to McClady?
Yes, it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Coach, as far as the route goes, did you want the route run a little deeper? Anything you saw in
No,
execution?
I think it was just one guy made a play. We got to get a block. I thought he did a good job of stepping in front of it. So, I mean, we'll have to go look at the film and analyze it a little bit deeper. But I thought it was running good. I thought it was a good call. I thought everything we just did next year. You know, it's the same thing. You're going to remember the last play of the game when you had a chance to go ahead and win one. But there was a lot of other plays throughout the game that we didn't take advantage of some things, and they did.
Coach, how about the defense and the position they were able to put you in to win the ball game? What can be said about the way they played today?
Yeah, I think they practice that way. The kids really believe in it. They always talk about, you know, they're never out of it until they cross that goal line. It's a mentality, and I like the way they fought in that situation. And they gave us the ball back a couple of times and got some 4th down stops for us to be able to get down there. So, you know, when you look at it, we missed some tackles. You know, I thought they ran the ball a little bit, hit a couple of big plays on some things, and we had to clean those things up.
How quick do you have to flush this loss, Coach?
Well, it's got to be real fast. So, because it's not a conference game, so we got to be able to go to work. I told those guys that they know what's in front of us. You know, we use a one game mentality. Our guys know that, but they know this next game is a big one next week that we got to start preparing for tomorrow. I mean, we got to get after UIW a little bit and go on the road and try to win a big time ball game.
Coach, before you scored the 3rd touchdown to get you 21 points, you were basically up 14, what was it, 3 or 6 or 10, 14-10 I think it was, despite the fact that you really had poor field position pretty much all that first half. You started inside your 20, I think 3 if not the first 4 possessions.
Yeah, I did. I wrote that down a couple times that the field position was not good. We made some bad decisions on special teams where we tried to catch some balls and we should not have and run some balls out that we should not have. We got to be able to fix that. And, you know, the wind was a little bit of a factor, but not much. And then, you know, defense was backed up at one time. We had the pick, and they had the short field, and they went ahead and scored. So we did. We fought our way back up. You know, we were up 21. I thought them getting a field goal before the end of the half was big. I mean, defense did get a stop right there, but the field goal to make it 21-13. And then they came back and scored to start. You know, went for 2 to tie it up, and then it was a ball game from there on.
Yeah, just like I said, from that point on, from the the field goal right at the end, and then the start of the second half, it seemed like almost like a switch that went off.
Yeah, they went like 18 points straight. You know what they did because they got the 2-point conversion on it too. The punt return was big. We knew how good Dalen McDonald was. We were supposed to kick away from him. We got to be able to get him down in that situation. You know, that again, that's not on defense. You don't give up that play, then it's a whole different ball game at the end of the game also.
Coach, you've raved about Pat, his development in the offense, getting better week by week. 345 yards passing today, a couple of touchdowns. What did you see out of him?
Yeah, I thought he was on the move a little bit. I thought he threw the ball well. I think what he did good was keep his eyes downfield when he was scrambling. Some guys made some catches for him and made a couple of long runs out of it. So I thought he did a good job. He competed all the way to the end. I'll probably go back and look at it. We got to protect him a little bit better at some times. But yeah, he was a competitor out there. But I think all the guys on offense, where Jaylon Spears took the little pass in the flat and turned it on, was it 90 yards, plus yards, 88 yards, you know, which helps your stats a little bit. So, yeah, but Pat did a good job, man. I was proud of it.
Speaking of Pat, I mean, he had gotten hit on the previous drive, and I mean, he got hit hard on his non-throwing shoulder. And then the next drive, he went back in, and it was a key 3rd down or 4th down, maybe even, where he scrambled for the 1st down. It's pretty gutsy knowing he had to be in quite a bit of pain.
Yeah, you know, they might have some bones to be sticking out of his leg off to get him out of the game in that situation.
Hayden Shaheen, coach, you talked about the heart and soul of the defense for a couple of years. 6 tackles, 2 sacks. What would you say about what he gave?
Yeah, you know, he's the ringleader over there on defense. You know, he gets the calls, he gets them lined up, he puts them in the right position. He was all over the field. So, you know, I know what he is. I know what he brings to this team. And if there's a guy that I'm going to count on for his leadership this week to get these guys back ready to go, it's going to be Hayden Shaheen.
How much did you miss not having Gansey? Obviously, he's a guy who always comes in and he seems to always get that key third or fourth down stop.
Yeah, I thought we did a good job up front. I really did. I thought those guys rotated well. We got a bunch of them and made some big plays. Look, they know how to run the football, and 6 is a good running back, and he runs hard. We got out of gap a couple times and misses. I don't know if that was Perry Gansey or not. You know, there's a couple things that we didn't do. So I don't know. Yeah, look, I love to have him. I want to be able to get him back for next week.
And Jaylon Spears had a great game. Can you kind of speak to the progress he's made this season?
Yeah, works hard. Been knowing it's coming. You know, we said we got to get him the football and put the ball in his hands because he's special with it in a kick return game. You see it out the backfield, and then when he can touch the football in the run. So I was happy for him. He's got that explosiveness in him where he can take it at any time.
Coach David Robinson going almost in uniform as before. How proud of you of his progress this season?
Yeah, I mean, I thought David's been working really, really well. It seemed the ball's been finding him. He's been coming down with the catches. It was good to see him at the end of the game come up with the big catch down the field. So yeah, I'm pleased with David. We're gonna need him the rest of the way these next 3 games.
In the second half, they went for it 3 times on fourth down. Obviously, the last one where they missed the field goal. Well, no, they ended up because they had the penalty kick the field goal. But the 2 times before, it was sort of like that in-between area, but still it was like 4th and 7 or something, like at the 36. Were you a little surprised that they didn't try to just pin you deep?
No, I mean, you think that you're looking at the field position and you know when those guys going on 3rd down, you're talking on defense that they're in 2-down territory. Kind of the things what they're going to do on 3rd down is going to dictate what they do on 4th down. And that doesn't surprise me. That's the mentality they have. They want to get that ball in the end zone.
You really did a good job of containing the receiver, the guy who had like the 2 yards last week.
Yeah, number 1, he does a good job. He got us on a reverse one time.
Right.
I thought it was a good call. We lost leverage. He took it down the sideline. But we got to be able to get contained on that and get a tackle and get him down.
Yeah, Hayden, can you just talk about the intensity the defense has played with and really to give the offense a chance there at the end?
Yeah, I think we played really hard all game. I think there was some times where they got us out of some gaps, like Coach Rebowe said. Wasn't our best. We usually don't do that from week to week. We haven't been doing that. I think there was a couple of times we could have tackled a little better. But at the end of the game, we played hard. We got off the field and gave them opportunity. It is what it is.
You had that, what was it, big sack on there was 4th down or 3rd down? What was the big? Yeah, and forced them to punt from really, really deep in their territory. Tell me about that play a little bit.
That's just everybody playing hard. Everybody's in their rush lanes. We talk about that from week to week. Having good symmetry on our rush lanes, not letting them get out anywhere. It was just a wrap, and then I saw a lane bust open, so I hit it. But that's a full D-line set there.
Your defense really got in the backfield throughout the game, but more so into the end of the game. Can you kind of speak of how the defense came together in the end right there?
Yeah, man, those guys up front, they've been playing really hard. We lost Perry. I think Dane stepped up. He was big, Dane Whalen. He replaced him very well. Joe, 20, Rashid, I think all those guys stepped up. They always play hard week to week, and they cause havoc up front, really let us play in the back end.
What's been different this year? I mean, it seems like the last few games you guys have really taken it upon yourself to perform at a high level, and even when they did rip off some shots tonight, it seemed like you were very vocal on the sidelines, just shouldering that responsibility. Is that something that maybe is different this year from you guys?
I'd say you can come to a game and not see that it's very obvious that our defense has a pretty strong bond together. Somebody messes up, it's all of us. It's on all of us. We're all going to fix everything. We're going to come off the field, talk about it, and we're going to get it fixed. And that happened a couple of times today. Y'all saw it. They ran the play, and then we stopped it for a loss. So I think it's just our bond together, and we play really well together.
You guys have been so sound against the run all year. Obviously, Hess broke one for, he's a great running back, broke one for 64. What did you see on that play? And I guess where can you guys improve the most, you think, in the run defense? Because they broke a couple today.
Yeah, on that one I got out my gap. That was on me. But he is a good back. We need to tackle him lower. We need to be better tackling, gang tackling, tagging the ball when we get there. But yeah, I don't think that hasn't been like us getting out of gaps from week to week. Just got to get in the playbook.
You guys didn't have a turnover today. I feel like it's been turnovers galore every single week.
Yep.
I know that's probably something that sticks with you. Going into next week, how can you find a way to get a turnover again?
Yeah, I mean, from week to week, getting turnovers, that's a huge emphasis for us at practice. I think we've been doing a great job at it. From week to week, they don't turn the ball over. That we went in knowing that on them. we should have had some opportunities that we didn't take advantage of, I think.
How important is it to flush this one as fast as possible?
Oh, huge. I mean, you know, it hurts to lose. We've been on a good run, but at the end of the day, it's in conference. It doesn't mean nothing for our end goal, win conference. So it's huge to flush this one going to UIW next week.
Yeah, take us through, obviously you kind of been waiting to break one to get that, you know, to get the touchdown run early and then the 88-yard, you know, catch and run with the screen from Patch. Just take us through those two scoring plays. Obviously it's great to see you in the end zone.
Shoot, at practice, we practiced that a lot. So like when they called that play up and I was in, I just knew like I gotta burn the linebacker. So good thing he blitzed, so that left me wide open and Pat made a good throw to leave me on the field. So that's what happened.
Talk about as a running back. I mean, obviously sometimes when you look at the numbers like in this game, might not be big rushing numbers, but obviously you did it with the, you know, on the receiving end. To talk about, you know, I guess trying to be a, you know, a complete back.
Yeah, I practice that every day instead of just like running the ball, catching the pass too, because that makes a big impact in the game. Stats, I never really worry about that. I worry about the win, and kind of hurt that we lost because that was a pretty good game, tough game, and we tried to get our get back from last year. So.
Can you sort of talk about your confidence? I mean, since you got here, we all knew you could play, but to sort of see the results of you know, all that work and talent that you have kind of come to fruition today.
Man, I kind of feel like I was slept on, like coming out of high school a lot. So like I just, you know, motivated my own self to like push myself harder and compete for everything that, you know, I want to get in life and get, you know. This summer, like I really worked hard. Like this whole summer, like I really dedicated myself into football, you know, instead of doing outside of things, like, you know, going out and stuff. You know, and then like team-wise, we all came together over the summer, you know, making connections with each other. So.
And Coach always says this running back room could go 4, 5, 6 deep. Kind of how do you make sure you contribute to that team, that morale?
Really compete. That's really it. Compete.
Along those lines, it seems like every time you and Colin are in that, was the Colonel package, every time you guys are in that Wildcat, it seems like it's impossible for teams to stop. What makes that so I see you smiling, what makes that so hard for teams to stop?
Because it's like they gotta pick on two guys, they don't know which one to pick on. And me, like an outside guy, you know, get a sweep outside and Colin an inside guy downhill, getting it downhill. And we practice that a lot at practice too, and we really, like nobody really could stop it.